Приветствую, дорогие друзья, как меня слышно?
Hello, dear friends. Sound check. Please score from 1 to 10 the quality. So 1 is bad, 5 is okay, 10 is excellent. So please, Italian, Spanish, and English chats, how many participants we have. In Russian, we have 626 here, it's 167 in English. So, dear friends, I would like to congratulate you on very interesting, I will talk about very interesting topics and news that you're going to hear today. My name is Andrey Khovratov. By the way, for whom this webinar is the first webinar? Do we have people, first attenders? So I will put up this poll. So first timers, second timers, and third timers. Because I see that we have people who came here for the first time. That's good. I saw one. Is that the sound quality? It's the first time. Okay. Okay. So 7.2% is the second timers. So my name is Andrey Khovratov, and I'm in Thailand, warm country, Phuket. So I'm here on business, and in the end I will tell you about our good news, and let's start away. I'll stop the polling right now. Thank you for your participation. So we have the following topics to cover. I sent the invites to people who already work with us and people who decided to get on the path of working with SWIG within crypto unit program in order to obtain fast and impressive results. Today I would like to share with you my experience when I wanted to get very fast growth, and when I learned about the projects that can help my structures, my companies go fast. I joined in and I worked from 48 to 12,000 hours per day. Don't be impressed, I will explain you what it means. Some of the people can get the productivity of 100,000 hours per day. I guess some of you don't believe me. How can you work 10,000, 100,000 hours per day? But I'm talking about your productivity, your output. Later we'll talk about the specific action plan, which will help the SWIG partners increase their structures by 50,000 times, and I'll tell you about the loyalty program in bonuses, and we'll have a 3-hour talk today. Then we'll have the news, recent news, and a Q&A section. We have a special table of questions and answers. And Nika, could you please take the new table of, could you please make a new table of questions and answers so that I can answer all those questions by the end of the webinar. So please put down all those questions. You can write them in English, Italian, Spanish. I will use Google Translate to translate them. So who are the first time? For those who are here for the first time, if you don't know what SWIG is, what crypto unit program is, I guess you even better leave today's chat and webinar and ask the person who brought you in to tell you what crypto unit program is all about, and ask that person to give you a specialized presentation, and only then you will be experienced and savvy enough to listen to this webinar. But many of you saw the video the video about SWIG, about the crypto unit program, what we're doing. So for those of you who are here for the first time, who are simply brought in here by force, like go and listen to the millionaire or billionaire, I'm not going to tell you what this business is all about. I will tell you, especially to those who are thinking about working with us or who work with us already, and if those people are still have winter in their souls, I'll explain you. We have 4 seasons: winter, summer, spring, and autumn. So in the life of a person, there are also 4 seasons. So I had once winter in my life and in my soul, and it was July, so I was offered to enter multi-level investment business, and I started working in that business very fast and joined in very fast. So Jim Rohn has a book. It's called Seasons of Life. Please read that book. I have also my own video about the seasons of life. It's already a 5-year-old or 4-year-old video. It's called Seasonality in the Life of a Human Being. So let's proceed, dear friends. So the strategy of the work before Evente 2019. Let me give you a couple of examples. When I started doing this business, it was back in 1998, 21 years ago, and I realized one important thing. Some people say that I need first to learn how to do this business, and only then I can suggest and offer that business to other people and build my business in a different way. But what I realized right away is that I don't know how to do that business, but I knew that that business was great. And when I talked with people, they asked me stupid questions, like they had their objections, and they objected a lot. And they said, this is bad, that this is nonsense, and I told them, well, you're doing business. Let's go to the School of Business together. I was there. I derived a lot of lessons from that school for my own business. So you might not perceive this as a serious business, but you can meet people there who are already in the business, and the way they implement their strategies in their business, and their business starts developing. So I took one businessman along with me. Then I met another guy who was doubting me. He was a car mechanic. So I told him, let's go with me, and you'll see whether you need it or not. And you still need the product. And he bought the product to use it, and then went there to learn how to do business, because he didn't want to repair cars to the end of his life. And another person who had a small business, and it was a relative of mine, and I told her, let's go with me. I have a spare place in my car, and we went to another town. There was a 3-day school, and there was another event, like 300 people, and there will be opportunities to hang out. I call them blue people because they like to hang out. There is party goers, they like to eat, they like to drink, and usually when you talk to a party goer, it's very difficult to talk to that person because he's thinking about coffee all the time, and he stops talking only if there is no one there. So I took a person like that. So there was a total of 5 people that I brought to this school of business. On Monday we came back, and on Wednesday we had a presentation. And when at the presentation, when I went to the place where the presentation was supposed to be delivered, and it was the culture and creativity palace. We used to call it Pioneer's House, and there was a lecture hall, and the presentation was supposed to be made there. And there were so many cars that I didn't have a spare parking spot. And the 5 people that went with me to that school, they brought in their acquaintances and friends and wanted me to introduce them to me. And I said, like, are those your friends, and how did you brought them in? And they said, well, I told them about your school, about your event, and we had a presentation for 35 people, and all of those 35 people made the decisions. And there was a similar event a week later. We went to a different city. There were 15 people, and in 2 weeks there was another event in another city 100 kilometers away from our city, and we had 25 people there. And then 2 weeks later there was a big event in our city, and we had 800 people within my structure. Not my structure, it was 800 invitees, but my company, my structure, after this event, which hosted 800 people, I had a 155 people strong company, and my turnover was around like $9,000. So, and without knowing how to do the business, I still did it. And I wanted to ask you a question to those people before we move on to the strategy. I would like to ask you a question, and those of you who know such people, please put 3 yes. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Do you know people who would like to improve their financial situation? Well, would like to start earning more than they earn right now. So if yes, then put 1 yes. So don't put yes right now. You'll have to put 3 yeses in a row. Do you know people who would like to improve their environment, would like to move to a better house, to live in a better apartment? And do you know people who would like to have a car if they don't have a car, or would like to drive a better car? Do you know people that would like to travel more often? So if you know such people, put 3 yeses. Yes, 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 if you know such people. So any people you will ask these questions will tell you, yes, I would like to improve my life, my car, my earnings. So one of the tasks is to invite such people to a meeting with a tutor. Or you can tell the person yourself. You can say, well, you might not believe me personally, but you might have a lot of questions. But let's go to the presentation, to the webinar together. You will listen to that person, and then you will be able to make your own conclusions and form your own opinions. So dear friends, why I'm showing you this particular diagram and why my company grew that fast? Because every 2 weeks there were events not far from my city, and when I realized how I was affected by a very big event such as similar to Evente, and there was only one of me, and there weren't any people around me to whom I could convey this information about this event. It was not called Event, it was called Millennium back then. It was 1998. We had a full house, a big stadium. I was somewhere in the upper rows. There were millionaires going up to the stage and telling us what difficulties they experienced in their lives, why they came to multi-level business, what tools, leverages, and technologies they used in order to achieve success. I saw a person in a wheelchair, and she did business, and she didn't care that she couldn't move on her own, that she was in a wheelchair. She still made a lot of money, and I was doing business back then, and I did a lot of different businesses from 1993 to 1998, starting from GSM, starting up to the food products, and I was also involved in the clothes, footwear, internet, and furniture production. There were a lot of internet clubs, if you remember, or internet cafes. And in 1996 I realized that I was not satisfied with the state of affairs, and so when they made me an offer, they drew circles, if you know what I mean. I saw a lot of money, and I realized that most of the people around me didn't believe me. They thought I was crazy. Even my relatives told me that I was insane, especially when I came back from this big event similar to Evente. But when I used that technology without knowing business too well, but by inviting people to training events, then my business started growing. So dear friends, one of the factors determining fast growth. 1 year later, I became the best seller in my company, and my experience allowed me to organize 2 big events in that summer. And over the first 9 months, so I built a company, and then 9 months later, I lost all of them. Why? Because I attracted clients and told them that they can become millionaires, and they wanted to become millionaires, but they didn't succeed, they failed. And they started telling me that this business doesn't work, that the train has gone, that first come, first serve, you cannot earn anymore because all the good places are occupied already. And I wanted to leave that business 8 times. And the last time I wanted to let go and leave it, and I asked my tutor, Natalia, a question. I said, Natalia, this business isn't working. Nobody wants it. First comes, first serve, we are too late. And she told me, Andrey, let's see the statistics, because we'll go back to statistics, why it is important. Memorize this picture. And she told me, let's talk about statistics. How many meetings over the last months you had? Meetings, rendezvous, and how many people did you have during your presentation? And since I was already working in business, I was used to putting down things in my diary. So please put it down that your success depends on how filled in your diary is. And your diary or your calendar, personal assistant, whatever, if your diary is full, and usually when people tell me that nothing works and everything it is not working, I'm asking this person to bring in his or her diary, and I take a look at this diary, and they have like 1 or 2 meetings in total, and this is the root of your evil, and this is the cause of your problems. So I'm taking a look at my diary, and the next day I'm bringing in this diary and show it to my tutor, and we start going through it. And we see that over the last month I had 7 meetings, of which 1 partner bought a 500 worth of products, 3 clients bought on average $250 worth of products, and I earned good money. Like 40% commission fee, I earned like $200 in cash, and eventually I earned $500 because we had a new partner. And she told me, but if you had 100 meetings in 1 month, so you see what the statistics came out of 7 meetings. Do the math. 100 divided by 7, it's 15. So my effect would be 15 times better. So I would have 15 partners, $500 each. Then sales would be not 3 sales, but times 15, it would be 45 sales. $250 each, it would be around $10,000 worth of sales. So it would be like $10,000 my earning. And I realized that, well, that's the rub. And it was late April, 25th, 27th, 28th of April, and in May, I decided to dedicate myself to statistics only to see how it works. So I had a meeting appointed on May the 1st. I used to live in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine, and I had a meeting on May the 1st, the Labor Day, holiday, and I appointed this meeting for in the morning, because in the afternoon we had to go and barbecue, and I had a meeting with a person who became a partner 1 month later, and then became my consultant. He participated in the event together with me. He had winter in his soul. He didn't care about May the 1st, and he decided to come and listen to me in the morning on an official day off, and he was very glad that he got this opportunity, because he said, I heard on numerous occasions about network marketing, but I never heard about it told in the manner that you did. And he decided to join in, and months later he called me, and I brought him into the presentation. Then he disappeared somewhere, and months later he called me back, and on June the 1st he became a partner. And when I started putting things down, writing things down, and I didn't have 100 meetings in May, but I did have 75, 85 meetings, and the result was insane. And the statistic was even higher than 20%. And I realized
one important thing, that when you are sad that business doesn't work, that no one wants to buy your product, nothing cares, and network marketing is dead, I remembered one important thing. It doesn't matter, so the purchasing power of the population, the economic challenges and problems, or some other troubles, they have no matter. So only 5 meetings, 5 rendezvous a day. This is a way to your success. Please take note this. 5 meetings a day, this is the path to your success. And well, look, why I started the leader company. I closed the status of the company by Evente as quite similar as the managing leader today. Imagine I was a consultant, acted as a manager, then the structure was lost, zero, nothing, and then since May I did the status of the managing leader. And I had 1 managing leader following our status and about 8 consultants. This is the first level. And I brought a pensioner with me. It took me 15 minutes to have a meeting with them. I thought that he didn't have any money, 5 minutes for the presentation, then please come to the presentation and have a look. He came to the presentation, he paid some fee to visit the school, because my intention was that in order to visit a school, there should be some investments into the product. I called these investments either into health, into business, and then you get the business. So he made his investment to visit my school, and then came as a consultant. He was about 68 years old. He came as a consultant with me to participate in Evente, a millennium, as it was called last time. And afterwards, this guy, this man, he used to be a secretary of some communist structures. He had a lot of contacts. He shared these contacts with me. For example, the deputy chair of some executive authorities of one district or region came to me, or some other senior guy came, which is in the authorities. So he is the professor of business. Please listen to him, what he can tell you. Dear friends, why I became the best seller of the company? Because within 3 months, I had 750 meetings across 3 months, May, June, and July. I realized the statistics. I realized that the fastest money is on sale. You sell and generate the money. It's quite simple. And actually, the network is growing or not growing, actually I don't care. The most important that I have sales. There was some polling, I visited some households, apartments, I interviewed the apartments, I like this a lot. Why? Because when I surveyed the households, I saw the apartment where a person lives in, and I immediately saw how wealthy he is, and that I can sell or not sell to him, and came later on. And one lady opened the door. I questioned her, interviewed her. Afterwards, I had a consultation with her, and she told me, Andrey Fedorovich, can I work with you? And I looked at her that she is quite wealthy. The apartment is quite good off, and her husband is one of the managers of the refinery. He came only at weekends. Why do you need to work? Because you are wealthy. And she answered, Andrey, I used to be in insurance business. I worked there and also interviewed people in their apartments. I like communication with people, and you are doing this good thing, and I'm tired of sitting at home, and I like this work, and I know how to do it. And actually I was shocked that a wealthy person, she has the money, but she would like to work with me. And dear friends, The reason I'm saying all this is that when I was asked, Andrey, which things you were affecting for the people to force the people to buy your products, I answered that within 3 months I had 750 meetings. And there were 2 events, one of them at the start of July and the other one at the end of August. And I made a shocking business because for the first event I brought people that were a bit closer to the venue, and then a larger event where I had to bring the people covering a larger distance. And this is the reason I'm showing this scheme. We have an EcoFest on the 15th of 6 in Minsk, and the final meeting for leaders at SWIG on the 18th of August, and then we will come back home. But this meeting is the meeting where your potential leaders can turn into leaders. First of all, why at EcoFest you need to bring more people as you can, particularly those that join Crypto Unit program. Throughout 4 years, when I'm sad that Andrey, it may be a fake and you may fail, or you may invest into the tools and instruments which will not generate the yield. Many persons say this because there are a lot of persons, particularly network marketing persons, and those that do not invest, or they invest and then they lose, because there is a statement, and this is a statement of my day, and please take note of it as well. It is quite short. If a person failed to generate the appropriate investment mindsets, it is senseless for him to invest in anything, because otherwise, he will lose it. So it's better to learn how to invest and to preserve the money that you have already generated, and learn how to multiply these investments. When you learn to preserve, then you should start learning investments and develop the correct investment mindsets. Because as soon as you have these investment mindsets, yes, he will lose money. Please don't believe that where I invested throughout my history of 22 years investment, yes, I lost the money, but due to the balance of my assets, the general revenue and profit increases. And therefore, dear friends, one of the most important things here is to understand what we are doing. Some network marketing persons say, Andrey, it's difficult to work with your products. Should you promise to everyone that there will be a guaranteed 5% profit per month, I will bring a lot of persons to you. But I cannot promise this 5% or 10% per month, because the capital after several months or years will be larger. But the strategy of investment shall be understood to understand how much percentage you will earn. But what we guaranteed 100%, and this is declared and announced, that we guarantee that from 8 to 35% of the profit per month we will pay to the investors as their dividends. It is called the dividend profit. Please write it down. The dividend profit in the Crypto Unit program, what it is. This is the net profit per month. Out of it we guarantee that from 8 to 35% will be paid to you. Which percent, 5, 8, 10, 12 or 35, so this decision will be decided by the majority vote. So we will show that you earn this money, and the more persons voted for the percentage to provide, to offer, but not more than 35%. On average, I believe it will be from 15 to 20% of monthly dividend profit, of dividend revenues from the profits. Dear friends, if you're talking about the normal investment companies, those companies that operate and work with some programs, they pay the profits either as soon as they generate it, after doing their business, investing their money, or developing some IT softwares and the product, and then after the sale of this product, they generate the profit and share it. Or when the profits is available, they accumulate more, invest more, and then make monthly 3-month payments, or 6-month payments, or annual payments only. But we guarantee that monthly we will pay from our profits. And one of our major goals is to generate the large profit for our investments. But through which? Through the development. Why we shall not offer all the money from the profit, not 100%, but from 8 to 35%. On average, it will be from 15 to 20%. 80% of 85% will be accumulated for follow-up development of the company for those areas which will generate profit later on. If this development is in the area of gold, to generate and mine more gold. If it is Skyway development, then the profits we generate will be invested and invested into other targeted projects. If this is real estate profit, after sale of the real estate, a part of the money will be the dividend revenue or rental revenue, and we will invest into more construction to get more rental or speculative profit after the sales. So this is one of our goals and targets. And why EcoFest is an important thing? Because we show to the people that throughout almost 5 years we finance in one large, very difficult to support project, which was quite difficult to support within 30 years, but through crowd investing, it boosted, and not simply boosted, but there are a lot of other companies and countries that would like to invest. They at least say that they have money, whether they have or not, but they say that they have the money. But at the same time, they are queuing already, because 2 important projects that we have today in our agenda, this is the Arabic project and a project in Russia, which today is also designed and is to be launched, and the company is saying that it will not consider any other projects within the next 1 year and a half. And there are already countries and companies that are ready tomorrow to make their money, to provide their money, and they are queuing. They are in a queue. And depending on the area we will make our money we will develop. For example, this year we may generate make one video, then after generating the profits we will have 3 films, 3 videos, and afterwards 5 videos. I ask the question to the directors, Moon, please tell me, in China it is expected that there will be next year about 900 films made per year. Maybe we will set this ambitious goal for us to make at least 30 or 40 films of different types, not action and action films, or some space fantasy of different types and genres film in China. Of different genres, yes, it's quite possible. But why? Because we can start from one film. You know, as I started my entrepreneurship business in due course, I invested money into the petrol tank, and I bought the petrol, and after selling I bought another 3 petrol tanks and the container for this money, and then 2 vessels. So this is the way I sell the petrol. I also was involved in food. Firstly I bought, then sold. There was a microbus. We loaded it, then came to our city, and we sell this, and there were some signs, some shops, and the turnover was over $200,000. And even internet business, another example, I started my internet business in 2019, the academy. No matter where I promoted it, yes, one area in the advertisement was proposed to me. I talked to this guy and started from a budget of 1,500 persons. After a few days I generated 3,000. I invested more into the advertisement and promotion. Then I got a larger number of subscribers, because daily I invested more in advertisements, and the more clients you get out of this. So this is the fact why we do invest into the development of the network. Today there will be some breaking news. In Minsk there was an event, and there we had about 200 leader groups that now will work across the globe. And why I'm saying all this? Two important events and the strategy of work, which I told you about at the beginning, it will help you to bring a person to EcoFest, and he sees the real project, which was not easy to support, but now it skyrocketed, and the company of $5 billion, the general growth was 3.3% per year, the capitalization, the average capitalization of the company. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So we were developing Skyway, we generated profits and invested both in shares of Skyway and other areas. The capital growth was 27, almost 28% per year within the 5 years. So in our 5-year anniversary, can you imagine which capitalization we will have? So this is the evidence and the proof how the multi-layer crowdfunding operates. And this is the reason I bring people in. Yes, there are some other reasons for them to invest more into SWIG, because today people join mostly crypto unit. I have bulks of them joining, and when I say to them Skyway, yes, Skyway is fine, you have a portfolio, but now I motivate them to join EcoFest with one purpose. As soon as they see the large scale, they will bring more people to crypto unit program. And the final meeting of leaders, that will be the final meeting where the leadership board will be introduced. We will introduce it, that will travel around all the countries by Evente, and this is a very good moment and high time to start doing serious business now. And the second event, which will affect, and in case even more people come and see the progress, they will come to EcoFest, they will attend the final meeting, the computer, and they will reach the promotion, they will visit the production from our fund, and they will come back home, they do their work, and the leadership groups or leader groups, they will come, and the leadership board will travel across the globe, they will help them, and they can bring more people to Evente on the 12th and 13th, and managers, senior managers on the 11th, and leader managers in Goa. We will work from the 14th to 17th. So the 17th is the final date, and maybe you may stay another week longer to have some rest. So partners, for those that involve in this business, you may ask a question, when can I rest? Because now all the days will be busy. You can rest 3 days a month, 4 days a month, 1 day a week, or the way I worked, 3 weeks work, then 3 days work. So this is the regime, and then afterwards, if you plan your work, then in September, you can plan some holidays or go to have a rest in Goa before Evente takes place, and then you can work as well, or afterwards, and the leaders that are shaped to attend this event, they will continue working. In your mindsets, in your heads, you shall have this picture. You shall print it out and have it on your hand, and write down at the bottom how many people you will bring to EcoFest on the 17th of August, and how many persons, managers, you will have on the 11th, and persons to attend Evente from the 12th to 13th, and then how many leaders you will have from the 14th and 17th. Print it out and put it on some walls, on the fridge, on the kitchen, for you to see it, visualize, and write down how many persons you will bring. And now look which work we will do with you. So you shall create 3 lists. In the chat, Nika will put these lists in all the languages, English, Italian, and Spanish. List number 1, all those partners that are already ready to come with you to attend EcoFest and Evente SWIG 2019, at least those that have told you about this, that they will go to EcoFest but will not go to Evente, and otherwise please make this list, this picture, but the picture are not changed, the next slide, which is called action plan. This is the first list to be made, and 5 columns you need, or actions you need in Google Docs. So in your Google Docs, make it your own Google Docs, because you will show it to your tutor later on. Top leaders and others, DMT, and how they do it. I will personally check them, how they work, what they do in Google Docs. Do a list of 100, 300 persons. If not, then from 1 to 100 or 300 persons. So make this list. Now, please tick, and every week do it. Who bought a ticket to EcoFest and Evente, or tickets to the aircraft, to the flight, to the rain or a bus? For example, if it is a neighboring state in Delhi. And from list 2 and 3, fill in other persons, tick those that became leaders and managing leaders. Then weekly, look through the lists of your partners, leader partners, and our main goal is that you can
So this is list number 1. So you need to make an Excel file in Google Docs, and then every week you need to single out people who bought the tickets, airplane tickets, train tickets. Then you need to put in people from the list 2 and 3, and then to identify those who became managers, and then you see the corresponding list kept by your partners. Very important. Please put pluses in the chat if you see the slides. So I like Thailand because we have watermelons and mangoes all year round here. While we're putting your pluses in the chat, I'll take a snack. So the second list is the list of your people who worked with you but do not go to the EcoFest. Some of them work on weekdays, some of them work on days off, but they're not going to attend either EcoFest or Evente. Make a list of those people too, because you will have like a column whether you talked about the EcoFest with that partner or not. So your task is to speak with that person. You have one conversation, the second conversation. Thirdly, if he bought a ticket in the back office, then you move to him to list 1. If not, then you invite him to online or offline presentation until he buys that ticket. Whether you need to see whether that person attended those events. Then you need to invite those people to regional meetings. I'll tell you about later about those regional meetings. I'm telling you things that I did myself in the past. And I made those lists. That's why I invited all of you people here, in order for you to tell you myself, to avoid that my leaders will tell you that. But you need to get them together and say, did you listen to Khovratov? Then who would like to join in? Then I'll put you in list 1. Then of those who will make it to the list 1, you will become millionaires very fast because the technology is working. The only question is when. And then you'll have time to practice to know when. And on Evente, you will know the exact date when you become a millionaire. Some of you may become millionaires even before then, before New Delhi, but I will guarantee you 100% that in New Delhi, you will know when you become a millionaire. But millionaire is not even about the amount of money you have, but it's a state of affairs when the market pays you money, lots of money. And at the Evente, you will know the exact date. So if you bought the ticket in the back office, it is list 1. If not, then you invite that person to the presentation. Then you need to invite them all to all regional meetings. List number 3, the same Excel file. So you make tabs 1, 2, and 3, the same Excel file. So list 3 is the list of your new clients that you're going to make from the 15th June until September the 1st. Well, September the 1st, because you need to do your best for them to become managers and come to the event as managers. You don't need to work on expansion, you work with your people. For some of them to become a manager by September the 1st. So I'm not telling you that you need to become a manager. You need to do your best to bring in 4 or 5 people as managers. If you bring 5 or 5 level 1 managers, who you going to be if you bring? So what's your status going to be if you bring in 5 or 6 managers? So write it in the chat, please. If you don't have the slides, yes, leader manager, the Russian chat says. Yes, and the English as well. So list 3 is your task is to meet from 5 to 100 people, new people a day. So why I'm saying 100 people? You can make a video. You said something interesting in that video, and then the person will listen to you to like 30 seconds, and then we'll go to your landing page, to your web page, and then we'll subscribe to your page. And you can go as high as 100 subscribers a day. Remember, in the Academy of Private Investor, I used to tell you that I went as high as 1,000 subscribers per day, and then I slowed down because it required a lot of investing. So one new client cost me 50 cents. So we went back to 300 subscribers per day, and then we had money enough to process it all. We couldn't go again as high as 1,000 clients. But for me, the quality of subscribers was more important than the quantity. So dear friends, if you're doing internet marketing, if you're using social media, if different communication technologies, your goal should be 100 registration or subscriptions per day. They will register and become your subscribers at the same time. And then you can refer them to the call center. So make also a list of 100 and 300. It's third tab, the tab number 3 should be a list of 100 and 300 people that you met in person, that you held a rendezvous online or offline. And you enter those people in that list. And you regularly hold online or offline rendezvous and conversations until to the moment when that person buys the ticket. Then you regularly invite them to regional conferences until that person decides to go to EcoFest or Evente. And then if that person buys the ticket, you move that person to list 1. You need to see whether that person bought the accommodation, booked a room, or bought the airplane tickets. And that person needs to arrive to the Evente as manager. So in June, even in August, your goal can still be that that person comes as a leader manager to the Evente, because leader managers will have their own VIP area. There will be leader managers because managers will sit farther off, and leader managers will go to the exclusive training at Goa. Very serious training, and leader managers that will go to the Goa event, friends, those people, I guarantee you, will earn at least 1 million in 1 year. That's the minimum that they're going to earn. leader managers and higher. And within 1 year, they will become presidents. And when you're president, you earn lots of money. And they will get the exclusive information about those strategies and new investment products, thanks to which well, let me say like this. You will need to write in the chat, yes, I would like it to happen. So would you like 90% of your network to pay $10 at least per month? You would like it to happen that 90% of your network participants pay $10 per month. So 95% of your network would pay a minimum of $10. So imagine you have a network of 100,000 people. So you'll get 1 million guaranteed. The minimum. Well, an average check can be like $50. So, and those people will be among the first to learn about the products that we're going to launch in October and November. But I'm not going to reveal it all right now because this is the information for the leader managers. This is information for them because thanks to that tool, you cannot even imagine what amount of work and how many people, thanks to that tool, will join the business. Maybe not business, they will become clients of that business. Some of them might join without even knowing what it is all about. And those leader managers will know how those people can use the blockchain technologies, and they will have payment cards. And those people won't even know that they are paying in cryptocurrency. They will buy what they need and can use those cards. So there are two very important and serious products we're going to launch. So the action plan from 15th of June to the 5th of October. This is these things you need to do in all regions. I'm talking about all leaders in the regions. So leaders in the regions need to get together and create like local councils in order to join in efforts, and group leaders, when they develop their programs for each month, we're going to cover the costs for the premises. We're going to pay the rent for the offices in very prestigious places in the city. If the volumes are considerable, we're going to allocate cars, service cars, company cars, to those offices. Though you will have a personal driver, and imagine that you have a personal driver that will take you to your business meetings, but for the region leaders, that's what we're going to do too. And now, well, but everything should start with ensuring volumes, $100,000 and more for us to be able to open a prestigious office. We're talking about cities with a population over 1 million people. Well, for smaller cities, we need to see, we'll set a different threshold, but we'll see how much effort the leaders put in the work. So, but we'll have also to rent premises like Congress halls and meeting rooms in hotels for your conferences and presentations. Then leaders can go to different regions. We're going to cover their costs as well. But yesterday they asked me, Andrey, if I give you a schedule, all my costs are going to be covered, like hotel, air tickets. But guys, remember, you develop your own business at your own expense. You need to be interested in developing your own business in a particular region, but We will cover the costs of rent if you, for example, want to make a presentation or a conference. But if you go into a region where you already have a network, then you pay those expenses yourselves. We were going to help you with the rental of good premises. We'd like it to be a very good hotel with very good handouts, but the air tickets or hotel accommodations, those expenses should be covered by yourselves. But we can cover the expenses of those leaders that change their regions, because if a leader wants to go to a different region and cover new areas, then we can cover those expenses, but we need first to approve their itinerary and their plans. But here you should realize that in your own region you develop your business at your own expense, because some people became representatives to develop like their own regions, and then they went to a different country to develop their business, and they thought that their expenses would be covered by us. Of course, it's a great thing that you're going to a different country, but when I went to India back in 2008, I paid $50,000 of my own money because I needed to open an office, and then we had to rent a house. At the moment in India we're renting a house, and we have a representative responsible for India. For, well, those who speak English and would like to go and work in India, you can go there, but not for training. Because back in 2008, people wanted to come with me to train, but I told them, no, you need to go there to work, not to train. So you need to have already the necessary skills. So in India, back in 2008, I paid out of my own pocket $50,000. I used my own money to develop the business in Bulgaria, Poland, Turkey. In Ukraine, I visited different cities, and out of my own pocket. I sometimes lived in very cheap hotels, and if I had a partner somewhere in an Ukrainian city, I lived in the apartment of that partner. And the partner was quite happy because a tutor was coming to see him and live with him. So for 3 years, I remember we, together with my partner, we held 120 meetings in 1 week. I remember them, this was a family couple. They brought me coffee to my bed because at 7 a.m. we already had the first meeting. And the last meeting was like at 12 a.m. at midnight. And then 3 days later we made a big presentation, and we had around 50 people at that presentation who made a decision to join in. So dear friends, I traveled always at my own expense. And we rented meeting halls in quite cheap hotels. And if you're going somewhere, go to your own leaders and ask them to procure you with the accommodation, because you're going as a sponsor, and the leader would be very happy to provide you any assistance that leader can get you. So when my sponsors came to me, I used them, and my partners used me when I came to them. So it's a win-win. And we worked from dawn till dusk together. This is very important. But we as a company are ready to assist you in renting good, prestigious hotel premises so that your invitees come and see that this is a very nice area, this is a very nice hotel, the company is great. Then we'll have printouts for you. We have corporate bags with booklets and leaflets, like 8 rules of business. But your own traveling and your own trips will be covered out of your own pocket. If you want to develop your business, because you can develop your business through the internet, and then you come and have an offline meeting and get all your partners together and make a presentation. So on the on the slide you see the work that you need to to do in June. So you'll have a webinar in your region. We have general webinars. Very soon we're going to hold general webinars for multi-level crowd investing on Wednesday. So if you're living in the Far East or in Thailand, and because of the differences in time zones or languages, for example, it can be Hindu or it can be Thai or it can be some Malaysian languages, and in Australia it can be English. Use the local resources. In South Korea it's Korean, in Japan it's Japanese. So every Wednesday you need to have a webinar in your regions. And it's Costa Rica, Mexico, the United States of America, Europe, it can be different countries, Greece, Italy, Romania. In Africa we have countries as well. So you as the leaders of the regions need to send us a list, and we'll send you a list on our own with the links that you need to follow in order to attend this webinar. So this needs to be your responsibility. So in Minsk, our leaders had to make their own leader teams. Maybe we'll have now 300 or 400 teams instead of 100 teams. So the main goal here, so those of you who are already part, please put a plus if you're already a part of the leader team that were set up in Minsk. So if you had a leader who attended the event in Minsk and told you all about it, and you want now to work with that leader, now you have to distribute the work in your regions. So please write in the chat, yes, I am part of the team, but I have my own team as well. So we have such people, I see. So make a screenshot or put it down in your notebook that on 19th of June you need to have a webinar in your region. On the 22nd you need to have a presentation in your city or your region, like city level or region level presentation. On the 25th of June you need to have a webinar in your region, and on 29th of June you need to have a presentation in your city. On the 30th of June you need to have a so-called reporting webinar. We'll have a reporting webinar or a final webinar, end of the period webinar of the management of SWIG. We'll tell you about the areas that we invested in. We'll tell you our profitability indicators, and we'll tell you about our bonuses and loyalty program. And there will be a regional conference on the 6th of July on Saturday in your region. It's like a end of the month regional conference in your region. Additionally, after the conference, we'll have a school for novices. It's called Quick Start, and we can also make a school for leaders as well, consultants and hire. So consultants and hire will develop a strategy, development strategy. So the way I did it back then, so what I did is, so I worked intensively for a month. I had new consultants. We congratulated those consultants, and then we told them, you want to join in, because our task for the next big event. So what is the purpose of the regional conference? The main objective of a regional conference, which are going to be held monthly, on the 6th of July, on the 3rd of August, and the 7th of September. In your opinion, what is the main objective, the purpose behind having those regional conferences?
I will enjoy my watermelon while you're writing. Why aren't you writing? No one is writing. To trace the leaders. Great. To involve the entire city or town. Valentin from Novgorod. Invitation to EcoFest and Evente. Bring novices to your team for EcoFest and Evente. The main goal is to sell tickets for Evente, guys. Evente, the main goal of the regional conference is to sell tickets for Evente and show the possibility, the opportunity, and they will see how crowd investing works and get the tools for skyrocket growth of their business. This is EcoFest. The main goal of the conference in your region, monthly one, is to sell tickets for Evente, which is to be held in India from 11th to 15th. Involve in business and register to the business weekly by Saturday meetings, and those persons, please remember your list, that haven't bought yet. They shall be incentivized, motivated, how he can become a leader of the business, how he can involve in business. This is Evente. EcoFest is the next stage for those who have already bought tickets for Evente. Please, guys, see how the situation looks like, how greatly you can engage in the business. It's great that you come to Evente. We congratulate, but would you like to become a leader manager at Evente? Yes, we can. EcoFest, 17 August or 18 August. Let's work with your heart. These events that in July you see every Wednesday, every Saturday, the webinar on Wednesday, and those that are online and in regions, and you shall motivate them to come and to bring the people they have. Through the communication, internet, we can to our town and city, which is, and bring together those persons that from 30, 40 or 50 kilometers away from us to come on Saturday to the event. But the idea of the online event is to come to the regional conference, which could be 20, 300 or even 500 kilometers away from you. This is one of the major goals. And Saturday meetings, the goal of the Saturday meeting is to get a person engaged. The sales of Evente, he may not have bought it, but at the regional event we sell Evente and show it as a tool of the skyrocket fast. So this is EcoFest. Do you all understand this? Please write down what you've understood from what I've said. The main the main goal of the sales at the regional conferences. Please write it down in the chat now. What Evente is. Write this down. Invitation to EcoFest and Evente. Again, I see it. Well, I will repeat it again. The main goal or task. The main goal or task. Please write this down. The main task and goal of the regional conference on the 6th of July is to sell tickets to Evente 2019. Alexander, to sell tickets to Evente. Evente. Once again, please write it down in the chat. What is the main goal? Guys, I see all of you. Someone is having his tea, someone is distracted. Please, someone is going to the toilet, so please come back soon and write down the main goal. To sell tickets to Evente. Good, guys. And now look. The main goal of the environment, the main goal of the webinar on Wednesday. You may have your own webinar for your group across your district, for example. What is the main goal of Wednesday? What is the main goal of Wednesday? Is to invite to the presentation to be held in your region and to invite them to attend the regional conference on the 6th of July to bring together the guys. They bring together exactly who? So there was in 2004 or 2003 or maybe 2005 one meeting. There were nice ladies, they were waitresses, and one partner of mine brought them. When they came, I asked them, girls, why did you come here? To make money, they answered. You are nice ladies, quite beautiful ones, and through the tips in your restaurants, you can generate more than their salary. So their wages was about $200 US, but the tips was about 1,000 or 1,500. They answered that we would like to make our dream real and so on and so forth. They got engaged in the business, but because they were quite nice, it wasn't a problem for them to motivate people to come to the presentation. Some persons came to the presentation and they even had no understanding what we are and what we are doing. And when we were in Minsk, we discussed it. All these offline presentations on Saturday, you will invite everyone, but it is not a correct approach. There should be a rendezvous. There were quite intelligent guys, smart guys, asking stupid questions. Did you go through presentation, rendezvous, a presentation in the office? They said, no, we didn't have it. Then please stand up and leave it, not to spoil the chat. You need the rendezvous. The girls will invite you to our office, provide a presentation to you, but please dress up, not in the shorts and in the slippers, some shirt and the trousers. The girls will invite you. This is our business. They are our leaders. They start their business. They develop quite good, but they wanted to develop fast, but the work should be structured in a different way. All those guys, they left, and it's clear that beautiful ladies invited them, but then in the evening they would have a party. But there were some guys who came to rendezvous. They had this rendezvous in their office, and then they joined the Saturday presentation. And then in the hotel meeting, they were quite conscious. And when on Saturday presentation, you have persons that went through rendezvous or vendezvous, at least one rendezvous, but two is the better, one meeting and the second meeting, and then you invite them to come to the Saturday meeting. Then out of these persons you will have on Saturday meeting, at least 30% will become your partners. They will not buy the tickets immediately afterwards, but when they come to the regional conference, they will take a decision that they will go to Evente as the leader manager. Why? Because this is the goal for July and June. So 13, 20, 27, this is the presentations in your towns or regions or where you will work. The 1st of August, Thursday. So this is the report webinar of the leaders. We will sum up the results of the July, where we make our investments to, and so on. Then we will also review the legislation, April, May, June, July. We will understand by that time when we can pay the dividend income. On the 1st of August, so we will have the information whether it will be paid and how much this amount will be in the first month. And on the 3rd of August, there will be a regional conference for you and a school for newcomers, fast start and leaders. The 3rd of 8, this is Saturday. What is the main goal of that conference, the 3rd of August? What is the main goal of that conference, dear guys? Please write this down. To sell tickets to Evente. To whom you shall buy these tickets? You shall sell these tickets. To whom? This is my next question. To novices, to newcomers, to those that haven't already bought this, but shall you sell tickets to the old guys in your business? Great, yes, I see. And to those persons that have taken the decision on the 6th of July, the consultants and hire, what should we sell them? If on the 6th of July he bought a ticket for Evente, then for the August, the goal is that he shall be a consultant. What shall we sell to consultants? Goa, great. And what should we do for Goa? So this is a training for leader managers in Goa. Great. Guys, you understand me well. Thanks a lot. I believe that you are all leaders. August 14th, 21st, 28th, Wednesday webinars in your region. The goal is again of this Wednesday webinars. What is the goal? What is the goal of the Wednesday webinars in August? Please write it down. To invite to Saturday meeting offline, and another important goal of the webinars is to sell the report webinar of the managers of SWIFT. So to invite to the report and then immediately send the report webinar of SWIN on these dates and invite them naturally to the presentation. And a person who doesn't come to presentation later on sell a regional conference on the 7th of September. And September, the plan for September, 4th, 11th, 18th, 25th webinar, 14, 21, 28 presentations in your towns and cities. The 1st of October, Tuesday, the 5-year anniversary webinar where all the leader managers will speak, leadership board, the Department of Crowd Investing and some other leaders. It will run for 3-4 hours, but on the 1st of October we will celebrate our 5 years anniversary. We will sum up the results, and by that time we shall close all the 8 phases. We expect that we shall close them down, but it may be the 8th phase or the 8th stage. And throughout September, we sell online the presentation offline in your region. And the presentation offline is to sell the ticket to the 1st of October as the final or as the summary. And we also sell the regional conference, School of Business, School of Investments for novices and for leaders. This is one of the important things. I have a question to all of you. Please write down who is ready to follow this system, this schedule. Please write it down. Yes, I'm ready. And I'm ready to engage my persons in the same plan, in the same schedule. Please write it down that I am personally ready and I'm ready to engage my persons in the same schedule. Great, dear friends. I congratulate all of you who took this decision. Where do you invite? To the first 5-year anniversary of SWIN. The 11th of October, this is the leader training. Here we have many persons in. Please write down who out of you will attend this training of managers on the 11th of October. Please write it down. Yes, I will be there. Write it down in the chat. Not Evente, but yes, I will be present at the training for managers. Write this down. I will show the tools to you through which you will very fastly become the manager and earn a lot of money. I believe that as soon as you become managers in August, then you will not be able to attend it because it is for 1,500 managers only. Dear friends, specifically what you need to do, please write this down, what I will tell you. So every day have 10 rendezvous, 200 rendezvous per month. So 5 from 10. If you are ready to become a manager now and bring managers with you and attend an event for leader managers, please write it down. I hold 10 rendezvous every day by the 1st of October 2019. By the 1st of September 2019. Please write it down in your diaries, in your books, in your copybooks. I like these copybooks. And I wrote it down here. These are my notes of Andrey Khovratov, my intentions. I woke up at 3 a.m. yesterday and wrote this down. Evente, what we should do, the program. By the way, there will be an interesting investment program called BOG in bold letters. These are the capital letters. So the future insured by guarantees. The investment program BOG, which is abbreviated as future guaranteed or insured by guarantees. Please write it down that I am committed to hold 10 rendezvous every day. If you don't know where you will take the persons from, please write this down anyway. If you read the methods of recruitment, you will definitely learn how to do it. Then, for each webinar, I will bring my new persons from 10 to 10 first-timers after the rendezvous online or the system of the attraction online. Not I will hold, but I hold 10 rendezvous. I will hold, it means that somewhere in the future. I said it incorrectly. I hold 10 rendezvous every day. Then, for each webinar, I bring my new persons, from 5 to 10 novices. For each offline presentation on Saturday, I bring from 5 to 10 novices after the either offline or online rendezvous. The fourth action, for each regional conference to be held monthly, I bring 20, 50 new people after offline presentation and rendezvous. 20, 50 persons, meaning you and your new persons after the first stage, and you together with them do this work. Do you understand me? So you are committed because they're simply starting. For each regional conference, you and your new persons, that those that are consultants today, make them free and they shall work independently. The information is everyone. For each regional conference, at least 20, 50 new persons to be brought. For each report meeting with the managers, bring new 20, 50 after the rendezvous and webinars. Meaning you new persons of the first stage and you together with them, and totally 20, 50 persons. Every month you shall take new persons and grow them up. If you have 100 rendezvous per month, at least, dear friends, you will have 4 consultants monthly. And please remember that for each new 5 consultants, the first stage, and 5 agents, the bonuses are paid 100 and another 5, another 100. So new consultants, you will get, if I'm not mistaken, $500. Another 5 consultants, another $500. US dollars. So there is a schedule of payments, and promotion schedule is still effective, if I'm not mistaken. It should have been effective until New Year, but it is still in effect. For each report meeting, Igor Korsun, I will ask him whether this promotional scheme is still effective, because otherwise you will blame me that Khovratov promised, but it's not effective. For each report meeting with the managers, bring from 20 to 50 persons. after webinars and rendezvous. Detect and identify who out of your partners does the same as you are. This is either your advisor or counselor or the president. Pay more attention to such persons. The important thing of selection of business, starting from the candidates to leaders. We also select leaders. Once when I came from business to this network business, you know, I have a manager, he was employed, and if he's not doing his job, then he will be told off. But here we don't have managers and subordinates. Our business is partnership business, and it is free, and we cannot push them to work. And the main motivation for a partner is when you start doing this job. There is such a statement, please write this down. Personal example is not the best. The personal example is not the best, but the only means to affect your business partners in the network. I will give you an example. When I motivated my people saying what they should do and so on and so forth, they were crazy with the sponsor. When you start to do something, and then I got exhausted, and every presentation I bring new persons, the first row, my leaders come, and I make them to come and meet together, and I sell. My main goal is to sell, and when I saw that they didn't sell, and I said that my purpose to bring new persons to you is to sell. He doesn't know that me is his partner. Please sell me. Yes, they say that Andrey Khovratov is my tutor. He is great. He is perfect, and so on. And the first week I bring new persons. The second week new persons, and then he starts to bring new persons and get me acquainted with them. Therefore, the statement personal example is not the best, but the only method or the only means to affect your business partners. This is workable.
So the personal example is the best motivator for your network. The implementation of your old dreams can serve as a motivator for your network. You know, a picture is worth 1,000 words. That's a saying. And it's a true saying. So I will personally work on bringing even more people to the Evente, because I have a number of network people who are working directly with me, and I'm talking with them, I'm working with them. Well, if some of my leaders bring on people of their own, it's even greater. But there are people who are waiting for me to personally address them. But you might know that thanks to my network, I have Dara. She has launched a program, and I had 1,400 registrations. But the overall amount, yielding an overall amount, a total amount of $50,000. So I'm registering people myself too. People who never saw me before, who saw my videos and followed the link and then joined in. So I suggest you do the same. So at the moment I'm preparing a very solid PR campaign in order to make people join the crypto unit program, because we have a very important tool now. I'll tell you about it later. The item 7 is to hold weekly trainings for newcomers called Quick Start, and then you help them hold meetings with their own clients. So when I started doing this, my network started growing fast, and because I was fed up with people not doing anything, not doing anything, so I decided to do it myself. Especially in our network, it works because we don't have managers, subordinates, because everyone works on its own, and we can test people for leadership. And item 6, remember, you can track and identify who is your partner, who of your partners do the same things that you do, and you need to pay more attention to those people, and together with them you can bring even more people. Item 8 is to already you should start working on people who will replace you as consultants and who will develop regions. So we know where the webinars are going to be held. Maybe some of your acquaintances, either online or offline, have the acquaintances of their own in Congo, in South Africa, in Ghana, Egypt, if I am not mistaken, India, in addition to Russia, Belarus, Finland, etc. So different cities. In Estonia, we are starting working quite actively because our company received finally a license and now we can install cryptocurrency ATMs there. In Singapore, a company is being opened. Maybe you will have a partner there. The United States, Canada, Brazil, the entire South America, across the entire globe. When you'll see the schedule, you'll be able to invite people to those presentations. But who are we inviting to webinars? People you already talked with and people you registered. We need to send people to webinars and presentations who are already registered by you. And you can't even imagine what's going to happen on July the 1st. Just wait and you'll see. This is our reporting date, and you'll see that your networks will grow at least 1,000 times. So item 8 we've covered already. Prepare the consultants that are going to replace you. And item 9 is start doing it today. So write in the chat, who of you is ready to start doing it today, to make the necessary commitments and start working? And I would like to see how many people are ready to do so. Meanwhile, I'll go and fetch a glass of water. And when I come back, I will see how many of you are ready to start working today.
Есть, да?
Okay. You need to write the entire phrase, I'm ready, or I'm ready to make the commitment to start working today. To deliver on all 8 or 9 items. You can, shout it out loudly in your own homes, like, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to bring in new people to presentations. You can shout it out loudly. You can charge yourself with this energy. Great. So let's move on. My congratulations to those of you who are ready to make the necessary commitment. So next, let's take a look what instruments we've prepared for you. So we have tickets to Evente already available. Let me check. We have tickets to Evente. We have 2 tickets. 1 ticket already bought at $200, and the second ticket in the crypto unit personal accounts, it's stage 4. That's what I'm looking for. So today it's going to become available, and in your accounts you'll see Echo Fest, and you will be able to buy the tickets to Echo Fest. So at 2 p.m. it's going to become available in 10 minutes. So I've been talking for an hour and a half now, in 20 minutes. So we have still available packages at 5,300, packages available at 1,500. You see, we added more bigger packages. So tickets will be available at 2 p.m. and we'll take a look. So these are tickets. The ticket will cost $800 until the 30th of June, and you'll get 100,000 tokens. But you can bring as many people as you can with small packages and earn more, both in the form of units and the crypto units. So you see that the price of the ticket will be $800 until the 30th of June, and you'll get 100,000 tokens. And then on the 30th of October, you'll get 100,000 token bonuses if you attend the Evente. Well, the people can buy tickets without going to Evente, but we personally are going to pay those additional 100,000 tokens bonuses only to those who will attend Evente, plus the bonus within the loyalty program and the profit bonus, it's the dividend income, will be multiplied by 2, will be doubled. So for October, the dividend income plus the bonus within the loyalty program will be 2 times higher compared to those who will not attend Evente and those who did not buy those tickets. So those who already bought the tickets at 200 units or 50 units or 80 units, not remember what was the exact price back then. So what about those tickets? Those tickets are still in force, are still effective, and we will give you tokens on the 30th of the September, but if you come to Evente. So those who already bought tickets will be able to get, depending on the stage when that person bought the ticket, we will give you for that amount at the discount rate that was applicable back then the corresponding number of tokens. If the person bought tickets at $80, how many tokens you get? Well, that was the question. Let me do the math. It was stage 1. If a person bought tickets at $80, then at stage 1 it's going to be around 20,000 tokens, 18,000 tokens to be precise, or 16,000. We need to take a closer look. It says we need 20,000 to divide by 100 and multiply by 80. Provided that person attends the Evente. If he doesn't, well, he won't get any tokens. So let's divide 20,000 by 100 and multiply by 80. Yeah, 16,000 tokens. It depends on the stage at which you bought the ticket. Then let me explain why this tool is great. So please write it down. who of you is going to invite new people in July, August, and September, and how many people you are going to bring to Evente? And I'll tell you how much money you're going to earn, depending on the number of people you're going to bring in. Well, Aman says 50. No. Say that you'll bring 50 people from among your personal environment and like 10,000 from your company, something like that. So over 1,000. It can be like 30-5,000 or 5- like 500. And let's do the math. How much money you're going to earn according to the marketing plan. So you're going to earn money both in the form of units and scores for the token units, depending on your output. So 50% of the marketing plan will be used for the scores for the token bonuses. At stage 5, it's going to be 40%. At stage 6, it's going to be 25%. At stage 7, 15%. And stage 8, it's going to be 10%. Alexander Makarov, 50 multiplied. And you see the tickets at 800. At stage 5, the ticket price from the 31st of July to the 31st of August, so 1,000. So it's going to be 50,000 multiplied by 80%. So Alexander Makarov will earn $4,000. You can buy a business class return ticket, book a good hotel. So, and the structure, the company was 2,500. So you get 2.5 million will be the turnover of your company. Multiplied by 1.5%. Alexander, thanks to the sales of Evente, you're going to earn $37,000. Now you can do the math. How much money you can get by selling Evente, my friends. So in June, your company, your newly established company, will, let's say, will have 20 people buying the ticket. Well, why I'm saying 20? Let's assume 20. 20 multiplied by 800, it's 16,000 on average. Your check can be 3% because it's not necessarily level 1, it can be level 2, 3, new people. So you'll earn around $500, okay? Out of the 20 people that are going to attend the regional conference and will sell Evente tickets there, you multiply it in July by 35%, 7 people. If you start working with 7 people and add those 20, in July only you'll have at least 100 people who are going to attend Evente. Multiply by 1,000, it's 100,000. And then you multiply it by 2.5%, you can add $2,000. That's the money you can earn in addition to the token scores or token points. Well, in July it can be even higher because those who are going to attend the meeting on July the 1st, you will be able to involve even 1,000 people, but on average 100 people. In August it will be 500 people multiplied by 1,000. It's 500,000. You multiply it by average on 2%. That's going to be a commission. 1%. It comes, okay, so it's $10,000. So, and the price here is going to be 1,200. In September, you will have, as Alexander said, 2,500. The September price is 1,500. It's going to be 3 million multiplied by 2% on average. It's $60,000. That's the amount of money you can earn in September alone. So, dear friends, this is the tool that is going to do the business at an insane rate. So, my question to you guys, who attended the last Evente? Not the EcoFest, but the Evente. Please say I was, or yes, or plus, whatever. And those of you who were there, could you please say whether you think that a similar event can again happen in your life? Well, most of you say no, because this was a once-in-a-lifetime event. So, what is the specific nature of Evente? It was going to be a 5th year anniversary, and this is going to be once-in-a-lifetime occasion in your entire life. Of your physical or spiritual life. This is going to be the only and one-of-a-kind event. So it's going to be a deficit product, and as you well know, a deficit product is selling very well, sells very well. So those events that we had during stage 1, they're not going to happen again. Similar events can happen, but not the same. And you're not going to have similar commission fees ever. So I remember the shares of Skyway years ago. And Evente, a similar Evente, is not going to be held ever again. Herbalife, Tomway, imagine when they were 5 years old, and if you attended the 5th year anniversary of Herbalife, those who attended those events, they are now top leaders of those companies. So dear friends, this tool is very good, and it works in many ways. First of all, you get an opportunity until the 30th of June to get a good number of scores for tokens at a very good price. And the more people you get in, the higher profit you get. In addition, those people will get a unique opportunity to receive training. This is going to be a legendary event, legendary training, and people will talk about this event for years to come. I guess at the 10th year of anniversary of Herbalife, one of the legendary events was in Barcelona. I think they celebrated 10th year or 11th year anniversary.
Today, everyone is talking about this event. You know why? Because many leaders that attended that event, they became top leaders of multi-layer industry and became millionaires, a lot of them. Once I bought Herbalife product in 1996, not 86, but 1996, and I got sick. Herbalife distributors came to me and sold it, saying that I will become fit and give a tip for me to see extravaganza, which took place in Barcelona. I believe they celebrated their 15th anniversary, then 1995. And Herbalife lady, she said that my sponsor gave me the discounts. I was sick for a week. I was watching it. I didn't realize anything. Quite an interesting thing. on the one hand, I wanted to turn it off, but on the other hand, it was quite involving and engaging. They were inviting and attracting leaders, the stadium. The translation was quite poor, but I was impressed a lot, and maybe that was the first grain, because when network marketers came to me, I actually remembered that great event. Dear friends, the tickets to Evente is a deficit because of one reason. First of all, in June, it costs much cheaper compared to the price in September or October. But most importantly, that the number of token points or crypto units will be higher than in September. The price will increase and the number of tokens decrease. You will get the bonuses, and the persons that will be there, they can, in case someone would like to buy something, to get some more personal tokens, and he will not come. Then he will not get these bonuses, additional bonuses, and no additional calculations will be made. And please, those of you who will use this tool and now understand this, those of you who understand this, and please write it down. Yes, now I understand why on the monthly regional conference I shall sell tickets to Evente. Write this down. Yes, tickets of 200, they're still valid. You will also use them. Those that have bought a ticket of 200, you will also go, and if you want to buy them by the 30th of June, you can do it, but the tokens will be provided only after you are present at the event. So if you have already bought, you may not buy tokens in addition. You may not buy it in addition, maybe simply because you want to get more tokens provided. An excellent tool. Do you understand it? Yes. I see that you understand. If I used to have these tools in the companies I worked for, then from scratch I would invite 5,000, 10,000 persons, and those new timers, if you can from scratch bring 5 or 10,000 persons, from whom you will have definitely solidly 500 managers multiplied by the dollar, 6 million turnover, and you can yield, you have a wide line, 10-15 persons of first line, each of them will have 10 persons, then you will get 3%, earn 3%, then 5,000 from scratch persons to bring, and you will earn about 180 to 100,000 US dollars. So this is the reason this is a good tool. Another good tool, I hope something fantastic. Another tool, we have 3 options to exit the closed club, and only in June, by the 30th of June, you can pay 10 units to enter this closed club. From the 1st of July, only 800 is possible. Therefore, you have all the opportunities right now to get more persons as you can and motivate them and bring them to the event. Do you understand what I mean? Those that can enter through SWIG, and my plans are as follows. I will show them now. For $10, there is no possibility of the shift between the accounts. So I think we haven't eliminated it as soon as we attach this system from 50 units. Yes, it's clear. And the withdrawal of bonus revenues, this amount of units. At least 50 units. Yes, you said it correctly. I will learn how you can transfer it. Maybe we will reduce it by another 10 units. Then from SWIG, by paying 10 units, you can transfer, or vice versa. I will learn it out. So now, dear friends, look how you can grow up in June 2019 very fast. You may have a network of 10, 100 partners. Please write this down, those of you who have a network of those persons ready. Maybe you have 5, 10, 100 partners ready to work with you. Please write this down here in the chat. Yes, 100. Data 100. Data 100 or security token offer. It is scheduled for Evente. We would like to push that button at that event, that the company enters the stock exchange. We will push the button and see what happens in the stock exchanges. I have the plans. I would like to review them. And similarly, I will tell you quite soon about the plans with another interesting thing. You will like it. In the first generation 10, one leg is almost 1,000 persons. One leg, it's bad. You shall expand more legs, not to be dependent on one leg. And, well, look, if you have 10 people, and those people that are ready to work with you, then now, write this down in this chat, that this $10 program, the closed club, how many people will you register in SWIG for them to transfer to crypto unit? Please write this down. $10, $30, 100 I see, 3 plus 1,000 someone can do. This is an opportunity which is available only in June. I propose, Norlan wrote down 100. Alexander Makarov 400. But please set a goal, at least each of you 100 partners. Then 10 by 100. 10 by 100 multiplied by 100, what do we have? 10,000. Am I right? 10,000, I believe. 10 multiplied by 100 means is 1,000. 1,000 new persons in your network. On average, the turnover multiplied by 100 units is 10,000. And in case this is your first line, and you get involved, and then they will bring, because only $10 multiplied by 100 units, 10,000 multiplied by 100 units, 100,000 multiplied by, on average, on 100,000, and 2 or 5%, this is the marketing place, $2,000 you will earn, dear friends. But the program from the 1st of July, you cannot even imagine what it is about. It will be an explosion, a bomb. And please look, 1,000 people per 100. If 1,000 bought at 100, the fourth stage, if they bought it at 100, 5,000 units multiplied by 5,000 points at cryptocurrency, and on average multiplied by 2%, I believe, 100,000 multiplied by 50% equals to 50,000 points of tokens you will get as your bonus, dear friends. Do you understand me? And our intention is at the stock exchange when from 10 to 20 cents, and we have a program. We will train, we will practice. I do not promise, but I have a goal that within the next 1.5 or 2 months to increase the price by another $1.52. So to reach this, we have the assets which will supplement and they can generate very profound growth. It cannot be this way. If for 400 units you entered the closed club, then you should have bought a large package. Maybe the program failed somewhere. We reduced, so we offered this program. On the one hand, we make the calculation. On the other hand, if we bought in 2008, 2010, or entered the stock exchange with this price, then we would generate and raise more money and buy more assets. I don't know why for 810, for those who entered with 400 units, the large package is always open. The only thing is when you have already bought this large package, then you cannot buy it the second time. No, you don't have to pay it. You need to discuss it with the IT guys why it happened. I'm answering Yelena's question. If you entered closed club of 400 units, the large package is always open. Only if this is the second time, you cannot buy the second time. 5,300, you cannot buy it the second time only, but the package is from 100 to 500. For bonuses, you can buy it. How can we grow SWIG and what we can get in general? Now we have more than 50,000 registration in the closed club of SWIG. If everyone does 40 partners, at least 1 million clients, and in July we can get from 10 to 20 million partners, and then by the Evente time, 5 million partners that will pay at least $100 to support Skyway. We will be able to get 5 million units and pay to the company the test path of the fast channel. And when we close this root technology, dear friends, we again have a program with our partners how we can everywhere in the world to set a price from 3 to 8 and sell shares from crowd investment platforms of at least 3, then 5, then 8, then $10. The reason I'm saying this is that through all these things we can freely, if someone from large investors would like to buy 1 billion or 2 billion shares of Skyway, then freely we can set the price of $1. Do you understand what I mean? Through this technology, we together with you can, by the 17th of August, fully finance the first test piece of Skyway and finance the closure of the entrance to the root technology. Please write this down. Who would like by August, by EcoFest, for us to fully finance the company? This situation cannot be with you, Yelena. You shall call the support service. The head of the support office. You cannot that you buy 400 units and the system is charging 710. It is impossible. Great. Great. But now let's talk about the launch of crypto unit program and the news we have here. On the 10th of June, we signed an important contract. We worked it out for 1 month quite a profitable area. Gold, not is simply the purchase of gold, but mining of gold in the sites with the prospects of development. We're always interested in those sites with the prospects of development. And with the shared participation 50-50 in the gold mining sites, altogether 900 tons of gold, and within the next 10-20 years we will be able to implement, to carry out this gold mining. One of the tasks and why I like it and I would like to enter the gold mining business, from the profit we can invest into the gold storage, dear friends, and one of the goals, and for each of our token of crypto unit, to supply, so to put both gold, it could be 0.1, 0.2 or 1 gram for each token, and then diamonds and cut diamonds, for them to be involved, for them to be stored as the support or the confirmation in case of some tensions. We have the real assets and the real estimation of the token. Do you understand? Alexander, the second Alexander. Those who write texts, please send them to the courses of the Russian language. Yes, I had 3 when I was at school. This slide was not adjusted. It means that I will have to take some Russian lessons. I don't know whether in Google, when you write a text, there is the translator who will tell you where the comma is to be put and all the areas are to be connected. 900 tons of gold deposits. Within 6 or 9 months, the balance will be 40 tons of gold, and at today's rate, 70 million. So, and there are all the grounds that the price of the gold will reduce, and it will not be the 70 million US dollars, but altogether, in case the gold increases, the price of gold increases, we will have about 120 million US dollars annually, and the production line will be of 20 million, with the increase throughout 6 months or 1 year of the capacity, and we will reach 300 million US dollars annually. This is quite an interesting, promising area or segment where the dividend income is declared and is to be paid at the amount from 8 to 35% of the net profit, on average 20% of dividend income, and all the remaining part will be invested into the development and expansion. Secondly, now we were made a proposal to enter the statutory capital of the franchising restaurant company, which is planned to set up over 50,000 restaurants within the next 10-15 years. And please imagine that we will have this franchising network all over the world. And if you know that you, for example, is a co-owner of the restaurant, and the food is not burgers which are served, although sometimes I also like burgers, and Donald Trump's book, there is a statement, I eat burgers and go to McDonald's when I want, and I generate the income of this company, meaning that I increase their profits. And please imagine, will you use this restaurant if the food is healthy and beneficial and tasty? Who will use the services of this restaurant? Please write this down. But will you recommend this to your friends, acquaintances, for them to place more orders with this restaurant, particularly if there is takeaway or the delivery? So this area is the purchase of a ready-made business, and then next month, we will get the revenues, net revenues, and the access to the manageable franchise. This is quite an interesting area. It will generate the payback within the next month and the statutory business of the company. And when the company, it is 150,000 US dollars, its price, its cost of this company, and they're preparing for entering IPO, and the cost of the company will be at least 1.5 billion US dollars. So we will enter their statutory capital, their shareholder capital, and the development of their franchise. And we talked how or which revenues could be generated, or maybe, please imagine, you invite someone to the restaurant, so he makes an order and you get a bonus. Do you find it something quite good, quite great?
So imagine someone in your network in any city buys something and then you get a small percentage of it. Not much, but anyways. So that's one of the areas I was planning to develop, and now one of our students who are taking the courses of basic investors, so we met with the manager of the company, very famous person, a business trainer as well, and quite a good manager as well. So this is one of the areas we are going to develop, and I'm planning from autumn to enter franchises. We're now negotiating, having negotiations with the food product franchises. So we're talking about food stores. And we're also considering quite a good proposal on creating a huge malls, that's the trading centers, where both clothes and food products will be sold, and which will have restaurants, and we'll have our cryptocurrency ATMs as well. There will be branches of our banks there, and they propose us to enter those businesses as well. And we're talking about people who would not only like to build a big mall and then earn on it, but people who are eager to scale up. And since it is going to be in demand in every country, then we are creating an interesting thing. We can both be co-investors, and if we use the SHI-card system, it's an application which allows businessmen and entrepreneurs and consumers, our clients, to have a cashback. So we invested a small amount there, we became co-owners of that company, and now together we are planning to expand. And our objective is to get 100,000 entrepreneurs using this application. And we are sticking to our plans is to have merchant system, so that all the entrepreneurs through that application will use our merchant in terms of payment system through units using any cryptocurrency. Now we have more and more specialists involved in the area of card reading machines. Although cryptocurrency is being pressurized in many countries, but the more pressure and the oppression you apply to a thing, the faster it develops. So very often, very soon, this area will yield income to us. And let's take gold, for example. Since we had payments in bitcoins and cryptocurrency, and bitcoin's price went up, so part of the money, quite a considerable part of that money, in fact, were received by us in the form of the dividends from the investments that we made into gold. And part of the money, most of the money that were invested from the difference between the current price and the previous price of the Bitcoin. In April, we would have to pay the entire amount, but since the Bitcoin price doubled, so we paid half the amount. So why I'm mentioning this at all? I'm telling you this because I wanted to show you that we are using all the tools that are available to us, and we're going to buy things at a cheaper price if we use fiat money only and not the cryptocurrency. And there are companies that are quite interested in having their services paid in cryptocurrency and not in fiat currency. So dear friends, in this regard, again, we are taking the leading positions, and we will also be leaders when we start paying our monthly dividend income. So the monthly dividend income is not dividends itself. Dividends are received by shareholders, by companies, as a profit of the company, but the dividend income of our investors is part of the profits that we declared from 80 to 35% that are going to be paid to investors in the form of dividend income when we launch our STO. And STO is going to be launched on October the 11th or October the 15th, during that interval. I'm trying to read the comments here. Well, those of you who would like to attend EcoFest, please raise your hands or put your pluses in the chat. We have an investment department and they receive proposals every day, and we then make a decision where we'd like to work. Those of you who are going to attend our EcoFest and then attend our reporting event on the 18th of August, we're going to compensate their expenses with our cryptocurrency points after the partner or the client pays from any of their personal accounts an amount which will be higher than 500 units from the 1st of August to the 31st of August. But only if you attend EcoFest, we're going to cover your expenses in the form of crypto units, of tokens. That's why we call them, because we cannot call our cryptocurrency as crypto units before we do the STO. So that's why we call them units. So how many people are you going to bring to EcoFest? That's a question. Please answer in the chat. Some of you say 50, 50, 10, I see, 10. We are now making the baseball caps and t-shirts with the logos. Because we're going to give those crypto points only to those who are going to wear those caps and t-shirts. But I'm joking, of course. We will do it anyway, regardless of you wearing these products or not. So next, today was the last day. It was including the 15th of June. So today was the last day. So we'll have a very good baseball cap and a t-shirt with a crypto unit logo on it. So we're going to give bags with a SWIG logo on one side and crypto unit on the other side. We'll have a video. So what you need to do before going to the event this week, you need to make a video why I'm going to Evente SWIG to 2019, then you have to post that video on your social media accounts with the hashtag Evente SWIG 2019, and then you need to provide links to the post and send it to the email. Next, we had a working meeting with the region leaders in Minsk, very good meeting, and so someone says that the return trip in summer will cost around $1,000. So, as I said, if you buy 500 units, dollars worth of crypto units, we are going to compensate it. So you see what you need to do, and if you meet the requirements, we will cover your expenses in the form of crypto unit points, in the form of tokens, not units themselves, but points, crypto unit points, using the discount rate that is going to be applicable at that time. So please put an exclamation mark, those of you who attended the working meeting in Minsk and who made a very important decision to develop. Good. So we had representatives of 43 countries, we had 4 working languages, and we had 390 leaders of SWIG, and we did all our best to move at a very fast pace. Our goal to have more than 5 million people by September. We've worked out the plan how to do it, and dear friends, I'm sure. So what is whether you can have the T-shirts before the EcoFest? I guess you will be able to place the orders for our T-shirts and baseball caps. So next is the assembly of entrepreneurs. We had around 3,500 people there. Next year we're going to have more than half of our speakers there. So next question, how we're going to calculate the income on dividends? Well, depending on the number of tokens that you have, we will tell you how much dividend income you're going to have, and then you can multiply it by the number of your tokens, and you can do the math yourself. So on April the 3rd, we had a discounted access for retired people and students, because pensioners didn't have money to become partners, and those who bought 100 units, they have packages available for them starting from $500 to $3,000. But if a pensioner, a retired person, wants to buy a package at $8,000, then that person has very good income and can pay for 700 or 800 token units. So we provide people with opportunity to enter the program at 100 units, because we realize pensioners, it's very difficult for them to enter this closed club. But if they do buy 100 units worth of the entry fee, then they will become members of that privileged club. But if a person cannot afford a $8,000 package, then we have $500 packages for them. Do you think this is the correct move? I think it is. Because if a person wants to pay $8,000, even if that person is a retired person and has this money, then if the person can pay $8,000, that person will pay $800 too. Otherwise, you need to buy smaller packages. So at the assembly, we have very good video material recorded. It's going to be online, and you'll get the link. And in the tickets to Evente will include very valuable materials. So the tickets to Evente include very valuable training. First of all, those of you who attended Evente in 2016-2017, you know that they have very strong business school there. And there, thanks to your Evente tickets, you'll be able to participate, to take those courses. And those courses are very valuable. And if you're going to use the knowledge that you obtained during these courses, your business will grow. So you can do it even before the Evente. So if you buy the ticket, you get the instructions to how to come to Evente already as a leader manager. We had 13 speakers at Millennium, and I'm sure that we had 300 people at our last event. Well, we'll have 60 more new millionaires, or even 100 new millionaires that are going to be born in SWIG. And I'm very glad, because you know my goal is to have 1 million millionaires. So we're talking about the creation of a network of students that will become millionaires later on. My goal is to have 1 million millionaires. How are you going to compensate for dividends not received by us? Are you going to take it all yourself? Because you are making money using our money. A very strange question. Tatiana, what about me giving back your money to you? The money that you invested, and we'll settle it. Because I'm also a holder of tokens the way you are, or shares that you are, because I have the same opportunities in making money within our network the way you do. I'm not making money using your money. So just submit your application and I will give back your money, and everything is gonna be great, or sehr gut, as they say in Germany. Because I don't totally understand your indignation. Because you're saying that we're using your money to make more money. I don't really get your question. So we have other. So Tatiana, we're just ready to give your money back. So you just be on the sidelines watching us succeed. Because I don't want you to think that someone is using you to earn money. Well, first of all, when you pay money, you receive shares in Skyway, and this is already shares in assets. It's not just you paid your money, you get shares in the equal amount of the money you paid then. So if you entered the network at 100, If you're a pensioner, then you shouldn't have done it at 700 or 400 if you could afford only 100 worth. So no one is going to earn money using you. So if you bought 100 worth of shares, that's one tariff. Then we have another tariff at 710. So the more you buy, the higher is the number of shares that are given to you as a gift. So if you're not okay with that, you just make the application and we'll give your money back. Oleg here has written that 2 weeks ago something happened in the Arab Emirates. I never heard about that news. So my comment is as follows. I never heard about that news, that some accident happened in the Arab Emirates. Do you have a link to that news? So if you don't have any official news, so what do you want from me? Where did you hear it that something fell or collapsed in the Arab Emirates? I never heard about it. And if there is official news of the company, we are going to post it on our website. So let me tell you a story I used to tell in the past. So in Emirates there was a bus accident, a road traffic accident. So what? In Ukraine they usually say, I'm trying to remember it in Ukrainian. So, the meaning is that there are haters, and no matter what happens, if there is a road traffic or traffic accident, if there is a traffic accident in the Arab Emirates involving buses, and so it's not our fault. So how are we connected to that accident? But because the farther we go, the more fake news there will be surrounding this whole thing. And the more haters we are going to have. The cinema company that we've invested in, there is a movie. There is a train moving in the beginning. This special effects can make it so that you are standing on a platform and there will be light shining in your face, like a train moving forward, moving past you, but there will be no train there because this is special effects or CGI. And this is the same thing here. There will be a lot of people disseminating fake news to bring down the reputation of our company. But we will hire that company to make our own videos of how Skyway is going to look like in future, like our ships orbiting the Earth, and because we're going to have our own space program as well. We already have speakers ready to speak at that event. It's going to be dedicated to the space program, and this will have the special news dedicated about this program. So my message to you is, let's talk in facts and not fake news. So, for example, people say Donald Trump said this and that about Putin, and Donald Trump may not even know that he said that, because somewhere in the social media said it, but unfortunately there is no proof to that. So, in my opinion, it's a pity that we don't have criminal responsibility, real criminal responsibility, and sentences for people generating fake news. and sometimes as high as Pentagon people can generate reports based on like people who are saying in their social media accounts that there is chemical weapons in Syria. Some blogger who never even was in Syria will say in their social media account that there are chemical weapons in Syria, and Pentagon will make a decision to bomb that place. So that's how it works, unfortunately, right now. Hopefully in the next 3-5 years we will have criminal responsibility for people disseminating fake news and facts, because there are sentences, real prison sentences for making a financial pyramids and financial frauds, and we are not, because this is a criminal offense. And we had 3 criminal cases against a person, and we lost those cases. But the important thing here is that that person said that we were a financial pyramid, and the judge ruled against that statement. So although we lost the case, but the court proved that we're not a financial pyramid. But who cares if we lost the case? Now we have an official judge statement that we are not a financial pyramid. So that's our win in this situation. I know a lot of people that tried to ruin some kind of promotion efforts, but something happened to those people later on. Some of them got cancer, others were in a traffic accident. It's all about negative energy. The more you spread, the more susceptible you get. There was a person who blamed Unitsky for getting in a traffic accident, but that's insanity.
I would like to say that what is written, some news about the Arab Emirates or in Minsk, let's not share it with me, because I am a core investor as you are, the managing core investor, and who receives the news after this news is released by the company. I have no privileges. Even when the discounts for the 13th period, we receive it 3 hours, 4 hours before the discount is effective. We have such situations. We have to adapt and make changes. This is quite normal, dear friends, that we shall adapt quite fast. Now, please, I encourage you to ask your questions. The question and answers. Nika, can you please send me a link for me to enter this link? The Skyway program plus CRU is not possible. These are different accounts. Skyway is one area, the kitchen. Forex broker, for example, I mean, they are different business lines. Skyway is one business profile and CRU is another one. This is one company, one business, and we have one requirements for SWIG, and the other line has totally different requirements. They cannot be mixed up. Separately, you can buy in SWIG and crypto unit. Capitalization of the company of crypto unit is increasing. Monthly, we calculated, it is growing. And moreover, at the end of May, we didn't manage, there was a delay. We failed when Igor Romanenko reported on the stock exchange, but early June, as soon as we buy it, they started to grow. This is a positive development. The US stock exchange a bit declined, but now it's growing. This is quite a positive development, and Igor Romanenko is a good analytics he knows what companies to enter, their IPO plans, management is quite good, and he is like a fish in the sea. I have a financial director, but quite probably within the next 6 months, he will replace, he is developing, he is responsible for the accountancy, so he will become our financial director, but Igor will be in investment business, because this is his, so he fancy it more. He's like a fish in the sea. He knows what to connect, how to do it, where to enter, and this analytical brain or mind, which he generates within many years. Igor, if you calculate since 2012, 7 years and 3 years before, so his experience in stock exchanges, so he likes these lines, these graphs, to observe them. It's very good. We will connect quite soon the wallets. At present, we are connecting a wallet, which will be called MIG. We participate in it, and you will be able to withdraw your bonuses and order the issuance of MasterCard and business cards. And quite soon, we are making an announcement. Who would like to turn to that cabinet or account for you to push a button and transfer there, because there will be such a thing that you shall enter, verify your accounts, but here it will be more simplified. We can join our 2 accounts, not actually join them, but we can transfer your data, but we cannot transfer your data without your consent. And therefore, we will interview you, and if you push yes, that you are ready to be transferred, to avoid this repeated double registration, then automatically the data will be transferred, like in case of conversion. And the exact question, quite probably, it will be possible. So the money to withdraw, the money, so we permit the withdrawal of the money, you have this money, and then you can use your bank cards and withdraw, make payments, withdraw the money in your countries, and so on and so forth. Yes, you understand it correctly. The more, there was a question, the faster CRO enters the stock exchange, so then the faster we will close down the entrance to the root technology. Not by these, but these are the tools. There are the tools. Either we enter the stock exchange of crypto unit, it will not affect the closure of Skyway. Why? Because now one of our goals is to use the tools that will help both of us and you, to get faster the potential clients. 50,000 people, 25,000 here. I will show you on the slide. 40 partners in June, 1 million new registration clients, and in the July program, which is prepared, a bombing program. You cannot but register in this program, then you will have to blame yourself, and on average 10-20 million new clients to be obtained. And in case out of this 10-20 million, only 5 million are partners that will say that yes, by 17 we will do online, we will contact this 20 million. So here we are, we travel around and everything is fine. What we've done, we shall help them to make a fast section to sell the Skyway, and 5 million people paying $100, and we get 500 million units and can pay Skyway the remaining amount for the construction of this test segment. Well, questions and answers, 10-minute session for this. Are you satisfied with the increase in the financing of Skyway technology through crypto unit? Actually, I believed that we would have more because I thought that through crypto unit program we would generate at least 30-40 million to the company, but through the crypto unit we managed to provide over 10 million only. I'm always satisfied, but I would like to have more. And there is the minimum and maximum program, but actually we provided more. Unless there is the crypto unit program available, we would provide 5-6 times less. Can you explain simply the difference between token and crypto unit? Token is translated as the measurement unit, and crypto unit is token-based share, which will become a token-based share when we finalize STO. We've been in this process since February this year, and we prepare everything, make all the appropriate preparations, and crypto unit, there is a crypto unit program, and now you enter the crypto unit program, for which you will surely get crypto units as soon as we enter stock exchange. You will have to press only one button. The process is quite complicated, and the certificate which you have, you will have to replace it into units, and using units you will have to buy crypto units. To avoid this process and additional questions, in your account you will have a button of automatic transfer, and all these tokens, they are before our entry into the stock exchange, but then they become the full-fledged token units. Elena Ramень asked this question.
How can I return my investments in the amount of $350? Sergey asked this question. So investments into SWIG are venture investments. You can return them only when the venture company does the IPO. For now, the Skyway company didn't enter the market. So at the moment, you can exchange those dollars for tokens, and then the Skyway tokens can be sold at the stock exchange, at the exchange. So I think you'll get 100,000 tokens. You can sell those tokens and get your money. Third option, if the root technology access is closed, you will be able to say, for example, I would like to sell my shares. I invested a certain amount of money, and people who would like to buy those shares from you can do so. For example, I will be the first to say that, yes, I'm going to buy, but the price at which we're going to buy will be lower than the market price, because the market price that we're going to have is $1, and if the person wants to sell to us their shares, his shares, we're going to have a lower price. But it's going to be mutually beneficial or profitable for both of us. So I already said that a lot of people who bought shares 4-5 years ago would like to sell their shares at $1. Some people say that one lady said that I would like to have my money back because I need some dental care, etc., etc. And I told them that I cannot give you money back because you invested in Skyway. And then I went to Unitsky, and Unitsky said, and I said to Anatoly Unitsky, like, let's settle this question and give that lady's money back. But she said, no, I want to sell half of my shares at $1 and the other half at a different price. And I said, well, you cannot do that. And the only time that you can have your money back is when the company enters the market, or when the root technology access is closed, and then the company is going to buy back all its shares and will give you the price. Only then you can sell your shares. At the moment, the access to the root technology is not yet closed, so now you still have an opportunity to keep those shares and wait when you can sell them to the company. Those who take the SWIG training courses know it, because that's the first thing I tell them. Residents of India who have cryptocurrency have to sell them to get rid of them within 90 days, and then report to the state. And citizens who will be found guilty of being involved in crypto transactions can face up to 10 years of imprisonment. Wow. I'm not sure whether it's fake news or real news. I don't know how it's going to affect crypto unit program. As far as the United States are concerned, they have, according to their law, they have a very stupid law, because how can you build a democracy if you have such laws? For example, let me give an example. With my own money that I earn, I'm not able to spend that money where I want to spend them. In some states of the United States, I cannot, for example, go to the online casinos. I cannot make investments in companies, and I can be criminally persecuted for that. That's some laws in effect in some of the states of the United States. And I was really perplexed. Why can't I spend my own money the way I want to spend it? That's really stupid. And people in my country, in Europe, would already protest against it. But in some of the states of the United States, they have those laws, and they can, and I know who came up with this law, prohibiting a person spend his own money, the way he or she wants. And why should anyone be able to prohibit me from doing so? To prevent me from doing so. Whether it's going to be a thing in India, I'm not sure, because some of the officials talk about it in order to bring the price of cryptocurrency down. That's the only reason I see. When Bitcoin was as high as $900, it was back in 2012, China said that they're going to support Bitcoin. Bitcoin is crap, etc. And Bitcoin, after that statement, went down to $250 in 4 months. And over that period, there were so many mining farms in China, and China bought so many Bitcoins, you can't even imagine. So when someone says something like that, like this, especially higher-ranking officials from the government, especially those who have any involvement in the economic relations of the country, usually those people, when they say this, their statements affect the exchange rate, and then all of a sudden that person retires, stops working as a governmental official. So I remember there was this director of the Federal Reserve System who set the discount rate in the United States, if I'm not mistaken. So back in 2013, he did make a statement, he did make set a discount rate, and then he left his position, and the market went down. He actually dumped the market, and then I guess he made profit. So I guess they have their own goals that they are pursuing in this specific situation. That's the opinion I have now about the so-called global stock exchange. Because, you know, if you want to affect like the exchange rate of euro or a dollar, you initiate a conflict, for example, in the east of Ukraine, and then the currency goes up and down depending on your goals. It seems like there are people, so-called architects, behind all those things. There is such a thing as called fundamental analysis, when you can evaluate politicians' statements, and then based on those statements you can make predictions about the market situations. For example, a war broke out, and then you can already make a prediction how the market's going to behave. Even the 9/11 story, when the Twin Towers fell, someone made a lot of money on this tragedy. Because there are even some conspiracy theories that there were not terrorists who were involved in the 9/11, but maybe it was the Secret Service, because they wanted to put forward the Patriot Act, or the law on terrorism, against terrorism. So the thing that you said about India, that there might be criminal persecution for a Indian national being involved in cryptocurrency transactions, in my opinion, this is crap. This is BS. I don't think it's even possible. But, you know, anything can happen in our world. It might turn out to be true, but in my opinion, my personal opinion, all those things, if they happen, usually it goes both ways. So let me give you a specific example. In 1929, there was a period in the United States called the Great Depression. In the early 1930s, they introduce a ban on alcohol. People didn't stop drinking though, but a lot of gray, dark schemes to make money came up. Mafia became more active. So a lot of people today realize that cryptocurrency, bitcoins, and others will allow you to earn a lot of money. We're talking about an immense, huge market here. And there are people who realize that, and they now started thinking, how can we become rich? How we can control the entire process? What if we introduce this law and see what happens? And then what if we generate this public opinion that cryptocurrency is bad? Let's make all parliamentarians vote against it. Or let's use the fight against terrorism as a pretense and make some restrictions, introduce some restrictions on cryptocurrency. And then those politicians will set up their own scheme and earn money on that. Because I know there are people that are pushing forward cryptocurrency, the restrictions. But all bankers fully realize that if cryptocurrency becomes universal, the banking sector will collapse. That's going to be their end, because they realize this whole thing is going to be out of their control. They are simply not able to keep pace with the whole cryptocurrency thing. Because, you know, there is a school of herrings, we're talking about fish, and we have a school of whales. And they say they are whales. And you can kill a whale very easily with very, very big hooks and harpoons, but you cannot kill a herring with the same hook. You need special nets, special devices. Because I'm a diver myself, and we very often go down, and we see a lot of schools of small fishes, and a buddy of mine shoots those fishes, that fish with a very small hook, and it can kill as many as 5 fishes at a time. And that's what the bankers are trying to come up with this special weapon to fight against cryptocurrency, because they see the end of their system in cryptocurrency. And that's why they push forward all those laws and all those restrictions. But then, the next day, they will leave their jobs and will become millionaires themselves. Can we get it? The next question, can we get a table on the income that we can get from crypto unit during stage 4? My answer is, we're now developing a white book, and which will describe all the processes and how we're going to make money, and how much of that money will be paid in the form of dividend income. And then we'll divide the total number of tokens. So we'll have profits there over certain periods where you have assets, then you'll have you will get a certain profits. Part of them will be dividend income, and during that period you will have certain amount of crypto units. Then we're going to divide the total dividend income by that number of crypto units, and then you can do the math yourselves. We will provide you with a formula in our white book. So according to our plans, in July we're going to publish this white paper and the roadmap, and you will be able yourselves at each stage and every month to see how many assets you're going to have, what is going to be yield of those assets. But the reason why this person asks these questions is because you want to take a loan or borrow money, right, in order to buy those units right now, and you need to understand how much money you're going to earn in order to pay back on your debt. I'm 100% sure that that's why you're asking this question, Zilia, because either you're planning to get a loan to buy tokens or units, or you have already taken that loan. But if you go to a personal account, you will see that before you make the purchase, read the way it is put here in your account. I confirm that the payment will be made from my own money, legally obtained, not borrowed money or loan money or any other monies that will pose a risk to my family budget. So that's what you are signing under. That's what you are signing under. So I prohibit you to buy tokens using loan money. Just save 10% of your income. Start saving and working with us and increase your portfolio. So you should not invest in financial instruments, especially risk-related financial instruments, and all of them are actually financial risks. Even gold is risky because the price can go up and down. Even real estate is a risky tool. Although usually real estate is considered to be riskless activity, but anything, an earthquake can happen, a landslide, or a conflict like in the east of Ukraine. So when people say that real estate has no risks, don't believe them, because there are always risks. That's why we are conducting those courses, training courses in our academy. You need to be a well-aware investor and realize what financial tool you're going to invest your money in. Start from small money. Start earning money. Start saving money. And even if you don't buy the amount of crypto units that you want to have, buy what you can. There will be other tools, maybe not so profitable as the current one, but every time we're going to come up with new instruments, and since you're doing business with us, you will be able to earn money, and part of the money will be paid in the form of tokens, and other payments will be made in other financial tools that you can further invest in. So please memorize this. I forbid you from buying any financial tools using loan money, both in SWIG and the crypto unit program.
Will there be the recording on the conference? Yes, it will be recorded. Why, when we withdraw resources in crypto, the rate is higher than 5%? Kripchenko Konstantin. This is not the question to me, the financial director. 5-7%. I don't know what you mean here. If you withdraw crypto as a bonus, it is 5-7% higher. Please contact the support office. They will answer. But quite probably we can set the exchange rates, but our goal is loyal rates, not the excessive ones. But our financial director, Igor Romanenko, is estimating all the risks. And therefore, when there are some ups and downs in the market, he tries to balance this, and through this, we cover and compensate those minuses we may have because of the exchange rate difference. Therefore, now we are preparing MIGAM system, which you will use to withdraw to your bank cards the way you need it. The question for first 3 stages, the price of the portfolio. Not now. Our objective of this webinar is not this, but the report webinar. There we will share the information about the cost of the portfolio, 40% of the attracted resources, not for the first and third phrases. For you to, so earning on the exchange rate difference on cryptocurrency, we make more purchases than 40%. And therefore we will have more assets and more profits. Is the purchase of a ticket to EcoFest is an entrance to crypto unit. Any purchase which is made in SWIG, any purchase is viewed as an entrance to the closed club, either a ticket, either account, but please discuss it with the support office, because actually it should be. We came to an agreement that any purchase shall be viewed as an entrance to the closed group, within which time should 4 managers be registered. If you want to be a leader manager, then by the 1st of October 2019, you need to have 4 managers, 2 personal managers and 2 in other structures, 2 personal and somewhere in the deep, the 3rd, 4th or 5th structure. And it's better to have 5 personal managers. Skyway at EcoFest. Can we drive Skyway at EcoFest? Yes. Now at EcoFest, you will be able to drive it. Where can I learn the information about the leader of the region? We would announce this quite soon. I wanted to announce it today, but we didn't manage to do it. We will announce what leaders, where they have some events, and how you can contact them. Is it possible to post in the account all the events throughout all the countries in advance? Yes, we will do it for all the countries, when, venues, and who you can contact. What the first, second, and third rendezvous mean? Quite probably the person is a new first-timer, and rendezvous is a meeting about the business. The second rendezvous, or verbena, where we make presentations, and Evente is an event of the company. But please contact the person who invites you here. He will share more details about this. Good afternoon. What is the dividend incomes for one token if it enters IPO at the price of 1 cent? The price at stock exchange and the dividends, there is no connection. The dividend income is the profit of the company. Sometimes I see quite funny things. The profit of the company is very high, but if you calculate the price of the share, it should have been higher than it is in reality. I bought such shares at stock exchanges, mostly Ukraine and Russian, they pay good dividends. European stock exchanges and US, Chinese, they almost pay no dividends because they aim at speculative income. Some of them believe that dividend income is when we enter the crypto stock exchange with the price 10 cents, sell a number of tokens and pay dividend. We cannot do it, dear friends. This is prohibited. It is not different, it will not be different from the pyramid. If you sell at the stock exchange, we will invest more into assets. What dividends are? This is the generation of profit when you generate it, and a part of the profit from 8 to 32% on a monthly basis is paid as the dividend income. The profit is $10 million and 20% is the dividend income. Then this is divided by the number of tokens. Number of tokens you can see in our account. 6,182 divided by this. For example, our profit is 50 million per month, and 32% is the dividend income after voting, and 17 million. By that time, we can sell 35, for example. We will divide it by 35 million. You get the amount per one token multiplied by the number of tokens, and this is your dividend income. Therefore, you can earn by making the network and increase the number of tokens. SWIG 2016 information in the SWIG account. $200 will be, you saw the announcement, by the 1st, and then 800, 1,000, 1,200, and etc. By the 30th of June, the price will be $200. Then these tickets will be eliminated, and the tickets will be available from 800,000 in the crypto unit accounts with the price tokens. You didn't say about the new loyalty program. Thank you that you reminded this. Yes, under the loyalty program, this program is almost complete. The IT guys designed it. We could pay weekly, but when we made an estimation, the calculation, roughly the profit will be disbursed weekly with no effect, positive effect. And we will not get it quite small money. For example, a person entered at $100 US, and the calculation is 1.25 US, and it's better to do it monthly at the end of the month. And therefore, I announced when we met leaders in Minsk, after the calculation of the situation, I saw that we will not get a positive effect for a weekly stimulation of the registration in the business. It will be a situation which will generate more questions, unclear questions, rather than appropriate work. Therefore, by my instruction, I said that we will not do it weekly. I initiated this when I saw the entire calculation and said, no, we will not do it. I informed DMCA about this. Doing it weekly, we will have more disputes and questions rather than work, but we shall involve in work. Monthly payment with better amounts. You will start asking questions, how, when, why. When I saw it, I thought that the figures would be interesting, but when I saw them, they are of no interest. They will not motivate me, but I always judge by myself. If they don't motivate me, then quite probably they will not motivate others. So therefore, these new changes, will include quite a fair thing. We will introduce where people of 10% loyalty paid for the entire number of sold token points. To make it fair, there will be different number of calculations for persons that entered this month and previously, meaning that those who entered this month, they will get 1 token more of calculations of payment to motivate those persons who made volumes this month, the investors. Do you understand what I mean? News. Actually, I've shared a lot of news with you. Please listen to the recording. I will look through the questions again. They are quite similar. Crypto Mats, financial DJ in Belarus, under the logo of confidential, and we will take it from Belarus. Although the law on digital assets has been adopted, but there are no means and methods, and I believe that it will be quite unsafe rather than safe to install it in Belarus. We will work, first of all, in those countries where it is possible. Yes, there are Japanese, Chinese, but now the negotiations have been slowed down. We will go to Minsk, and there are Koreans that are ready to invest 10 billion to Russia, and they don't care where to invest, either Skyway. Our people want to get it for the targeted projects of Skyway, and another part of this investment for them to make payment. But we are still negotiating. Not always people willing to invest are fast to invest. A small example. When we produce, so in terms of the production of diamonds, we decided everything, but so far it have taken us 1.5 months to prepare the agreement and contract. 1.5 months to negotiate all the details, and now in terms of gold, we have verified the quality and everything required, but the contract hasn't been signed yet. Some of the contracts may be longer, So the delays may not be caused by us, but by the others. We are in a hurry, but there may be some delays, like in this case, 1.5 months delay. But after the courses of investment consultant, will you employment in SWIG with the salary of 1,000? There are 8 courses of basic courses of investors. Those who undertake these courses of base investor, there will be the test, and after this you will be enrolled into the courses of investment consultant, which cost 5.5, and those that sit tests and all the other, the price of these courses will be, instead of 5,500, only 1,000. So after you're sitting successfully passing the test, and only then, and attending these courses, you will be able to be employed. This is the basic course for a qualified investor. The basic course for the qualified investors that would like to generate more dividend income. We plan this program from next year. The dividend income will be higher. It could be higher, but it will be available. So there will be a course for the qualified investors and 8 courses of base investment. If you want to make 30% more dividend income, then you shall undertake these courses, pass the test, and become a qualified investor. If the person does this, and then his dividend income will be higher, we will do it. But we plan to launch it from the next year. I announced this before the opening, how it will be. Bank cards. It will cost about $35 for 2 years. MasterCard, Visa. Cryptomat machine, automatic machine. Will it be available in Kazakhstan? Yes, now we are addressing some legal issues and the language issues. We've almost negotiated everything, but now it shall be transferred to the country. When crypto machines will be installed in Moscow region, we already have them with us and with other regions. The bank card, we will connect it this month. The program to be implemented in cooperation with Migom payment system. Tatiana, how will you compensate to us non-received dividends? You cannot simply not give it. I cannot understand. Dividend income. After the launch of the program in April, it was launched on the 30th of March, May, July and June. The dividend income is to be calculated, but legally we cannot do it until we enter the stock exchange. But we have some mechanism how to do it. Unless we don't provide it, there is the loyalty program, which is distributed as cashback on a monthly basis, and the profit, secondly, the profit is generated, but this profit is invested, and the reports why Romanenko is reporting monthly. Please come and listen to the report webinar, how much we earned and what we bought, and at the prices, the costs, how much money we generated, where we spent it on, and which assets generated which profit, and what we bought. It's clear. If you didn't hear it at the start, many funds, many foundations and funds pay incomes once per 3 months or once per 6 months. We declare this, and we are doing this, that monthly income will be provided. In terms of the forecasts of the profit, it will be in the roadmap in July. You will be able to read our forecasts on profits, but please understand that the capital we invest today, for example, in April, the major investments were made not in April but in May. A part of money was invested in April. In May, we declare this in roadmap. After 36 months, throughout 36 months, we will do everything for the capital investment to get 100% profit per month. You can calculate it. In April, we should have invested a webinar. There will be exact figures, precise figures, but I believe about $5 million investments made. Our goal within 36 months to generate the profit to ensure that on these assets we have 100% profit on the capital invested, on 5 million invested, roughly speaking, in 3 years, but our deadline is from 6 to 36 months. Some instrument may provide 10%, another will generate 1.5%, but after 36 months it will generate 100%. But why we announced the dividend income of from 8 to 32%? Because the webinar we will have, actually this is your homework. We have lessons called the basics of capitalization. Your home task, your homework is to do everything I am talking about in the basics of capitalization.
So this is your homework. I will show you on the example of 2-3 instruments where we're investing and how we're going to pay the dividend income, and the rest will be invested into development, and in 2, 3, 5 years' time we will see how the profitability of the company grows thanks to the remaining money. So from 92 to 65% will be invested back into the investment. We're not going to take it ourselves, as someone writes in the chat. If we earn something, we invest it right away. So if we earn and invest, we will earn even more, and we invest in different sectors, diversify. So for using April bitcoins, if we go into gold, then if the price of gold goes up, we then spend less bitcoins to invest into gold, 2.5 times less compared to April. It's savings, but thanks to those savings we expand our assets, we make them bigger, and the more assets we have, the bigger the income. So I'm giving you a home assignment. Please study the 8 rules of a private investor. It's a free training course. 8 rules of a private investor. I don't see any other unique questions whatsoever here. So what I would like to tell you, remind you of, so this thing here, Evente, if you haven't yet decided to go and attend, my dear friends, let me tell you one story. It was a story told me by an acquaintance of mine. Maybe he read a novel or something, or a small book, or he wanted to write a novel. So, but a very good story anyway. So once in a small city, there were workers there and farmers. It was a small provincial town, not a city, and an exhibition of paintings came to that small town. Very good, renowned paintings. And one of the local museums hosted that exhibition. And there were 3 friends who visited that exhibition, and they were deciding whether they want to go to that exhibition or not. One of the friends said, well, we don't need to go to these exhibitions. Paintings are worthless. Why should we pay money to look at those paintings? We don't need it. And one evening, those friends got together to have a beer after work, and one of their friends comes to them. He didn't want to buy a beer. He was quite thoughtful, and when they asked him what happened, he said, I was in this paintings gallery. And they started laughing at him, but he said, well, you can laugh, but I saw a painting in the corner, and when I saw that painting, but it changed the way I think, and I think I'm gonna leave my job and leave our town. And they started laughing at him. Where are you going to go? Who needs you? We have a very good job here. Are you crazy? Well, the next day they meet again for a beer, and that friend didn't come. They went to his house, and the parents said, well, he quit and he left the town and went to the capital. And they were like perplexed. How come? They meet every evening since then for a beer, and they discussed his friend all the time, why he quit his job. He had such a good job. Everything was great. And the next evening, and one of their acquaintances told them that, the painting gallery is about to be closed and the exhibition will leave the town. And the next evening, those friends meet. One of the friends, again, is like very serious. And his friend asks him, like, why are you so serious? Did you go to that painting exhibition too? Are you going to leave town too? And he said, I'm on the fence. I'm not sure about leaving the town. I need to sleep on it. And the next evening, that friend was alone in the bar because his second friend didn't come to this meeting to have a beer. He went to his parents, and they said that he left the town too. And this friend decided finally to take a look at that famous painting, and he realized that the exhibition already left town. He learned where they went, to a neighbor town, and he bought the ticket to the gallery. And when he comes to that exhibition, that painting is not there. No. The first friend, when they asked him, what did you see there? He said, I saw the past in that painting, I saw the present, and I saw my future. And I realized that I shouldn't be where I am right now. And the second friend also left town. When he came to the party, very serious, he said that when I saw the picture, I saw my future, and it bothers me. I can't understand who I am. What should I do with my life? I need to make a very serious decision. And when the third friend went to that neighbor town to finally see the picture, and he couldn't find that painting, and he asked the organizers, saying that, when you were in our city, you put that painting somewhere in the corner, and my friends took a look at that painting, and they changed their lives. And he said, unfortunately, that painting was bought yesterday, and it is now in a foreign country, because it was a foreigner who bought it. And that third guy, 5 years later, learned that one of the friends who left became a very famous, successful businessman. And he realized that something happened in his life and made him successful. 2 weeks later, he learns about his second friend who also left town and quit his job. He also became a very rich and successful person. There were a lot of news reports about him and newspaper articles. And then he said to himself how lucky they were because they saw that painting, while my life is as usual. Work, beer, with my new friends, home. So the reason why I'm telling you, you this story, the event that we're going to have in October, it's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime event in your lives. And it is only up to you to decide who you're going to be. So I suggest that your decisions that you make are correct ones. As for Thailand, you know that we've invested here in the village hotel construction. So very beautiful place. On the 30th of June, I'll show you what villas we're going to build here. We thought that we're going to build villas and condominiums, but it's going to be villas only, and we're going to finance the construction. And since we have real estate representatives here, those of you who have taken the courses of 8 basic rules of a private investor already know that there is a section dedicated to real estate. There is timeshare, real estate, etc. So there was a guy who came to us and was ready to work in this area. And the real estate that we're going to finance in Thailand, I personally wanted to tell you that the capital invested should yield us at least 100 or 150%. The return on investment, I mean. But in addition to that return on investment, we'll have very good rental income, thanks to timeshare as well, and other areas. So here we have 2 ways. We can either earn 10%, or we can earn 30%, or we can earn 100% return on investment, or even more. So our primary task here is to have those hotels with our brand in our network. So our friends, my lawyer is going to check the legal side of the contract that we're going to sign. And I have another friend of mine who is very good in brand making. So, and if everything goes well and we invest in the development of this brand, then our share in this brand will be quite higher. It's even more than 50%. Therefore, the return on investment will be much higher. So in Phuket, we do everything we need to do in order to have the construction of the hotels finished in 3 years. So when you have a choice between going to your own hotel and live there, or you go into a hotel owned by someone else. So another area of our development will be hotel business, so that our people can live in their own hotels, because they are co-owners of those hotels. And we have such people as Armand, who is already involved in a network, in a chain of hotels. So thanks to the collective investments that we have, we can do amazing stuff. Why go and live in a hotel owned by someone else if you go into your own hotel and get a discount? And if the hotel makes profit, that profit will be shared by you as well. So that's how we want to develop our company. We would like to use as many income money as possible to stay in the company and be invested in the further development of the company. And what we do is we simply add new opportunities and new financial tools. So this is it from me. Let's call it a day. My name is Andrey Khovratov. Bye-bye. It's a very good question. What was on that painting? I guess those of you who come to the Evente in India, Delhi, will know what was this painting about, and what was actually painted there.
Поздравляю.
Спасибо. Нормально.
Отсюда не водите.
Ну, все хорошо.
Книги почитать.
Ну, перевод, да, надо же. А? Да, не в обиде. Ага. Тут вроде нормально кондиционер работал, все окей.
Нет, кто-то тоже писал, что у тебя